Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for watching. If you're not new here, thank you for coming back yet again for another video. Today I want to share with you guys some tips on things that you should know in your 20s. Your 20s, they're kind of the most important years of your life. My first tip for y'all, please do not fall into the trap. Don't fall into the trap. And what I mean by the trap is the trap of expectations. When you are in your 20s, you probably are focused on basically the American dream type lifestyle where, you know, getting college, you know, graduating, getting your degree, getting a career, getting married, having kids, and buying a house and that type of stuff. My thing is with that, like, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm gonna kind of reference back to like kind of my early 20s because that's when I really had mainly these thoughts. I've always was fixated on this idea. If you are one of those in your early 20s, please remember this, guys. Don't rush. That's been my biggest thing that I had to learn, because I was trying to rush into all this stuff. Like, don't rush at all. Like, and don't get me wrong, that stuff is great, but you don't have to fall exactly into that pattern of what society expects you to be. I've had a lot of people in the past, or just some people in the past, to be honest, they'd be like, oh, you're how old? Like, aren't you supposed to be married? A lot of people your age are married. A lot of people your age have kids. Why are you not there? Like, no, forget that. Like, literally forget that. Just live your life the way you need to live your life, according to your means, not by someone else's means. And also, I even had in the past where I even had some people come up to me and they, you know, ask me, you know, are you married or do you have kids? And there's some that responded different. They said, well, since you are young, like, if I could go back to that age, I wasn't married to nobody, I didn't have kids, especially the kids part, girl, I'd be traveling, I'd be going everywhere, I'd be living my life. And that's what you should do. Like, just live your life, because all that stuff, eventually, if that's what you truly want, it's gonna come to you. It's gonna happen. The second tip that I have for you guys is don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Like, don't be fearful of putting yourself out there. That's something I highly dread, like, during my early 20s. Like, looking back now, like, I seriously dread that now. Right now, I'm putting myself out there, of course, with this YouTube, and of course, me doing networking events earlier this year. Don't be fearful of putting yourself out there. When you don't put yourself out there, when you don't share yourself to people or share who you are with people, you're kind of putting yourself at a disadvantage when it comes to opportunities and things and just whatever that you want to do in life. So that being said, don't be fearful of putting yourself out there. Always take risk, no matter if they're big or small, because at the end of the day, life is about trial and error. You're gonna have some things that work, you're gonna have some things that don't work, and how are we gonna know if they're gonna work if you don't take a risk? And then also with networking has opened so many doors to different things and stuff for people. You've probably seen it yourself personally, or you've probably seen other people. I've seen it definitely through a lot of other people, whether I know them or not. Put yourself out there, network, take risk. It'll all be worth it in the end, I promise. Tip number 3, this kind of leads back to, this definitely leads back to tip number 2. Please take advantage of opportunities. And that's another thing that I kind of dread now, that I didn't do that back the earlier part of my 20s. There was always opportunities. I'd be like, well, I'm tired. Well, I have to work. Disregard all of that, okay? Please take advantage of any opportunities that may come, because you never know. The opportunity could change your life. And not only that, the opportunity might not be available ever again. You don't know unless you know, go through with it. It's about, again, like taking risk. So please take advantage of any opportunities that may come. Tip number 4, this tip right here, y'all need to know this tip by heart. Like, please take it with you, like, throughout the duration of your life. You're gonna have to learn how to be alone. In this world that we live in right now, I know it's common to want to be around other people, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But you have to have a time in your life where you be alone. And what I mean by being alone is, I'm not just saying like sitting alone in a room by yourself. Like, I'm just saying like spending time alone, whether you're at your house or if you go out, in a sense. Like, spend a lot of time alone. When you spend so much time alone, you end up seeing a lot more of things in perspective when it comes to your own life. It's so gratifying. Being alone, people think it's such a bad thing. Back then, I didn't like being alone in a sense, but now, when I have a chance to be alone, I love being alone. Like, I love being alone, doing my own thing. And also with being alone, make sure you also taking advantage of giving yourself self-care. Being alone, it unlocks wonders. I'm telling you. Alone, it's just necessary in my opinion. Tip number 5. This right here, I'm kind of gonna be talking for a second on this one. I know that, you know, things happen, you want to talk to people and this and that, because I'm the same way. I like to talk to people about certain things. Don't be vulnerable to everybody. Because when you be vulnerable to certain people, this is just my thing. Some people that you talk to about certain stuff, they might not see it the same way you see it. You feel a certain way, right? They might sit there, yeah, I hear you, yeah, that's sad. And then they turn around and they might not be having the same interest as you. You feeling extra most vulnerable. They see it as a sign of weakness and they feel like, oh, we could just use this against her eventually. People don't have good intentions, okay, when you tell them things. Some people don't have good intentions towards you. So please don't share so many things or aspects with your life, because that's something that I really dread throughout the duration of my 20s. This ain't even part of early 20s. This is like most of my 20s, because I've definitely done this a lot. Some people don't, again, they don't care, and like I said, they'll use it against you if you let them. When it comes to sharing stuff, make sure you share it with the right people that you know won't take advantage of that. Tip number 6 is time. Okay, so I want to elaborate more on the time thing. So time is very scarce, right? Once it's gone, we don't get it back. So with time, okay, I'm gonna go back to your early 20s for a second. When you're in your early 20s, you're still exploring, you're trying to figure out yourself and but you know, time is gonna dwindle on, like time is gonna go on, and you want to make sure that you are using your time to your advantage to try to get to where you're trying to be in life. Kind of goes back to some other tips I said. Don't be that person that's like me in your late 20s that be like, I would have did this, or I should have did this, or I could have did this. Don't be that person you say you would have, should have, could have. Okay, do not be that. Go ahead and make certain choices. Go ahead and do certain things while you're more in your early to mid 20s. So when you do get to this part of your 20s, you're not feeling like you've kind of gave up on life in a sense. I'm really emphasizing this to y'all, whoever's in your early 20s. Make the best choices that you can at that point right now. This is the time now. Because I'm telling you, your mid to late 20s will creep up on you real quick. Okay, tip number 7. So with tip number 7, please have a good work-life balance. Okay, you're gonna have to make sure that that's good, because I'm the type of person where I don't like working too much. I don't like working too little. It has to be a balance where I'm making sure that I'm taking care of not only my responsibilities, I'm taking care of my business, but I'm also taking care of things that I want to do in my spare time that fills up my cup. Just make sure that you are providing yourself with a good work life and a personal and social life balance, because it's all necessary to keep us thriving and keep us going, and just making sure that, you know, we're just good overall mentally and emotionally. Number 8, this is another thing that I'm really gonna be stressing to y'all, the ones that's in your early 20s. Finances. I'm not gonna tap into this too much, but when it comes to your finances, if you don't have a savings account, make sure you have that too. And this is something I still dread to this day. Please save, and save. Or if you do also have a little extra to invest in, invest your money into something that you know is gonna benefit you in the long run. Yeah, I definitely recommend that too, because the way the world is built right now and set up, things are so freaking expensive. I'm not even gonna go into that. Y'all already understand that. Yeah, just make sure you save whatever you can, because a little bit goes a very long way. Also, making sure that you establish your credit by paying your bills on time, by making sure that you have different forms of credit or different sources of credit, making sure that you just do everything that you can to try to get your credit score built up as much as possible, because your credit is your life. That's literally your life. And also with this tip, please just spend wisely, because I remember when I was in my early 20s and I'd be watching people on YouTube or just certain things that was popular that people was buying. I'd be like, oh, I gotta have this, I gotta have that. And no, you don't have to have all this stuff. And that's another thing I kind of want to talk about. Like, you don't have to have all these things, because now, I'm just use this for example. I have a Fiji film camera that I bought that camera back in 2017. And I don't even use it like that. So please do not waste your money on stuff that you're not going to use or not going to need. Because looking back at it now, I'm like, yeah, I really didn't need that. So please just be mindful of how you spend. And tip number 9 for this, definitely I will say in your 20s overall, you're gonna be very confused. Okay, this era of your life, you're not gonna know everything. You're not gonna be an expert with everything that you do. You're just not. I'm just gonna lay that out there for you. You're not. So it's okay to be confused on certain things, on how to do whatever. Just do what you feel is best. That's why I recommend those other tips earlier. Do the best that you can with whatever you're trying to do, and as long as you're working towards that goal or certain things that you want, things are gonna happen. It's really gonna happen for you. Trust the process. I know right now it's all over the place with whatever that's going on in your life, I'm telling you, but eventually everything will work out the way that it should. All right, and my last tip, I kind of talked about this tip recently in my other video for my birthday, and wrote a caption about it. It is called acceptance. life is gonna throw a lot of curveballs at you. Life is gonna make you feel like, dang, why am I doing this? Why should I really do this? Is this meant for me to do this? Because I have those thoughts all the time. And you know, whatever that goes on in your life, good or bad, you just have to accept it. And not only accept it, I may say, you just have to do the best that you can with it, because life is not perfect. Life is not easy. So whatever that you're going through, keep your head up, hang in there, do what you can do, and just accept the things that are happening to you. Because at the end of the day, life is ongoing. Life is, again, like I said earlier, it's challenging. That's just my thing now. Like, I just have to accept things for what they are and just keep it pushing. Because at the end of the day, it is what it is with certain things. You have certain things that you can control, but there's certain things that you're not going to be able to control. With that being said, just handle whatever you can within your control to the best of your ability. But yes, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was quick. It wasn't like too much, but that's pretty much what I've learned from the duration of my 20s. Thank you again, guys, for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.